Hi, this week I watched a film that will linger in my memory for a very long time. It's Kyle Edward Ball's Skinamarink, released at the beginning of this year, now available for digital rental and on streaming. It's a very tight, minimalist film um, that's surprisingly simple to describe, given its minimalism. Um, a 4-year-old boy and his 6-year-old sister wake up at home in the middle of the night and discover that their parents have disappeared and that the windows and doors out of the house have also vanished, replaced with blank wall. They, being very young children, don't really understand the danger that they might be in, and so they try to find solace in playing, watching cartoons on television, sleeping downstairs. But there is some thing in the house which starts to threaten them, that starts to control them. And as the film continues and we plunge deeper into this genuinely terrifying nightmare, it starts to get a lot stranger. This is the most disturbing film I've watched in 5 years, at least. I'm very pleased that when I watched this, it was late afternoon, broad daylight, as you see here, in comfortable, safe seeming surroundings. Because had I been watching this late at night, I would have had to sleep with the lights on. Ball has a unique style in directing. He avoids showing his characters' faces, he often avoids showing them on screen altogether. So we have close ups on odd details as sound plays in the background. Voices are often indistinct. There's a lot of dialogue that is subtitled because it is so indistinct. Sometimes we don't hear any dialogue at all. We just have the subtitle as though the words are being sensed by the characters. It's a difficult film to convey in words through a simple review like this how effective this is. You are plunged into a nightmare. It is like living in a 4-year-old's nightmare. And there have been suggestions of what the film is representing, that you could read this as being a nightmare of a young child who is being abused by a parent. And there is indications early on in the film that some kind of physical abuse is going on. But there are sequences throughout that are truly terrifying, that tap into something buried and primal. In me, certainly, and I think also in other viewers, based on some reviews that I've seen, that deeply disturb. That night, as I went to bed, sleeping again in my comfortable, safe room, lying there in the darkness, I was thinking, this is exactly like a scene from Skinamarink. And how do I know that when I wake up, there'll still be windows and doors in my house? It really got under my skin, and I think there's no higher recommendation for a film than something that stays with you long after you've watched it. Um, Ball is created a completely unique vision with the film, something very cautiously studied and unusual. And I'm surprised that the film has been a bit as big a success as it has been. It cost $15,000 to make. Ball filmed it in his parents' home, the home in which he grew up. It features only 4 actors, only one of whom is shown. You see the face of at any point in the movie, um, and 2 of those are young children. And yet it grossed $2 million at the box office and has been a surprise success. And now Ball can presumably write his own check. It's one of the best films I've seen this year. A very original, creative vision, but one that is both extremely powerful and deeply affecting. It's possible that it might be too much for some viewers. Others may find that it is entirely ineffective and they simply find it boring. That's an entirely legitimate response because it's down to the psychology of the viewer. But I found it absolutely terrifying. And I'm still thinking about it.